Hey everybody, welcome back. I am Marshall, the hip historian, here with
Ken Clark, the Get You Fixed team.
And we are doing more on recycling. So if you remember from last time, we were talking about compost on parks and rec land and what does that mean. But you know, I want to go in a completely different direction because Brandie and I have known each other for quite a while. And I love how we started with parks and rec and libraries way back in the day.
Yeah.
And that is kind of reconnecting to a past you already had. So how did you get to where you are?
Well, that's a great question. Thank you for asking that. And yes, it's been a few days, but those were awesome days, and I learned a ton back then.
Yeah.
So I came to the city as an intern, actually, and I got to work with you over at the library department. And it was an interesting introduction to the city because of course I went to libraries as a kid, but I never really, it never really coalesced in my mind like how impactful they are in the community, and what a wonderful opportunity it was for me to be out there with you guys, seeing you do the good work and to contribute in the small way that I did back then. I had the opportunity to do a lot more of that when I went to the city manager's office. Also as a management assistant too, I was there for a couple of years and worked for over that time, probably 5 different deputy city managers, which was phenomenal. I got to work with the West Phoenix Revitalization Board. I got to staff the first round of the pension conversation and changes. Yes, and that was an education for sure. And yeah, do all kinds of stuff like that. And so then, after my time there was done, I was promoted to the Deputy Public Works Director position that I'm in now. And I was actually managing our Fleet Services division. So the city has about 6,500 pieces of equipment. They're the light duty trucks and cars that our staff drive around in, but also heavy duty equipment like bulldozers and sewer vacs and all that stuff.
You were saying when we were off camera earlier that you never expected recycling and compost to be this intense and exciting for you.
So when I joined Solid Waste Services, it was after my stint over at Fleet, and the assistant director at the time said, "Hey, come on over in Solid Waste. We're doing some really neat stuff over here." And what I learned, I never expected to do anything with solid waste in my career. You know, I have a master's in American Indian Studies and an undergrad in German Culture Studies, and I'm policy and writing and all that stuff. But what I learned is that Solid Waste is doing some really innovative stuff. In fact, they're doing the most innovative stuff of any of the city departments that I'm aware of. So from the minute I started learning about all of the zero waste efforts and our economic development efforts and how we're using a random procurement process in order to engage with the manufacturing community, to take stuff out of the waste stream and keep it at a value and create jobs here locally, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So yeah, no, I never expected it.
Well, and another organization you talked about working with was Goodwill.
Yes, yeah.
So what's going on with them?
Well, great. So one of the main contaminants in our recycling is textiles. So you guys saw the plastic bags all rolled up in there. Same thing happens to clothes, right? You throw away your jacket, or worse, you put it in the recycling bin. It gets all jammed up in the machinery. Eventually the machinery stops working. We have to shut all the production down, cut it out, all that stuff. And also there's a lot of there's a lot of challenges with textiles in the textile industry in terms of chemicals and with the fast fashion and clothes just not being made as sturdily as they have been in the past, and just like the number of times folks actually wear their garments being abysmally low, all that stuff. And so we thought, well, what can we do about this? So we kind of got a direction, figure out something to do. We can't pay for it, so we can't pay to create a program. So again, we went to our little tool belt, pulled out the RFP and said, we have about 18,000 tons of textiles in our garbage and recycling streams. Who wants it? What will you pay us to off-take it? Because we're trying to shift from the we'll pay you to this is a commodity and a resource, we want you to pay us. And it all kind of depends again on that market. And so we created this partnership with Goodwill of Central and Northern Arizona, curbside pickup.
Good.
And you alluded to something we can't really talk about. But
oh yeah, we have this really cool program in Phoenix called Percent for Arts. So for every dollar spent on capital improvement, 1% is allocated for arts improvements. And so because Public Works has had capital improvements, we have Percent for Arts program. And one of the greatest ideas our assistant director had was, hey, why don't we do something a little different here? Let's find a way to engage artists and have them engage the community around this challenge of textile waste and responsible textile use. And so that's what they've got on deck. They did a call for artists. It's been judged and approved. It'll have to work its way through the official channels before any official announcements can be made.
So exciting.
But I'm really excited too. It's going to be Awesome.
And on the awesome note, we're out of time for this segment.
Exactly.
So we're going to come back,
time.
and I'm gonna bloviate a little bit about batteries. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm just going to have to. This is a big deal, and I really want to have Brandie approach this. So we'll be right back.